So before I get started with this whole thing, I hope everybody had a very Merry Christmas, and hope it was a good one and whatnot. And today I am bringing to the plate a doubleheader against TheFlawlessWin. We were on Skype, having a little bit of a chat, had a couple of battles, and I actually wanted to get this thing rendered in HD, and for that I would like to thank my buddies Barry and Justabomb. I don't really know if Barry has a YouTube link, but I will leave Justabomb's link in the description if you want to go check him out. So, yeah. Anyways, looking at teams. I'm looking at that Hawlucha, and I'm a little bit scared of it because I have quite a few things weak to it in some matter. Or actually, 4 of my guys are weak to it, really. Whether it be its flying stab or its fighting stab. So, I'm a little bit scared of that Hawlucha, if anything. And I have had some past experiences with Hawlucha, and they have not been fun. But pretty much my best counter to that Hawlucha will have to be my Talonflame. And Talonflame happens to threaten quite a bit of his team as well, so try to keep my Talonflame alive, and I should be a-okay for this match. So I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, and let's get the show on the road! So starting off, I'm going to be leading with my Talonflame, expecting his Fortress to want to lead off to get some hazards, but he opts with his Rotom, which was the better choice in this matchup. And anticipating my switch, he just goes for the Volt Switch. I go out into Rotom to sponge that. And this is looking like a more offensive variant of Rotom, I have to say, and he's going to have to switch into Roserade. I pretty much knew that he would not hit me with the grass move with his Roserade, so I just go for the Volt Switch as he sets up a layer of spikes. And I'm able to go out into Margaret here. And if you guys get the reference, then awesome and whatnot. But they're anticipating his Rotom switch. I'm gonna be going for the U-turn and and I'll be going out into my Tyranitar. And this is an Assault Vest variant, so I won't worry that much if he goes for anything that's not Will-O-Wisp. And I kind of anticipate him to not go for the Will-O-Wisp here, so I go for the Crunch, but he actually winds up tricking me his Choice Scarf, and that is actually going to be benefiting me a wee bit in these next couple of turns, as he goes into his Garchomp, which actually turns out to be his Mega, and just opts to go for the Swords Dance there, to just get up to +2, and yeah, this is actually a sassy Tyranitar, so yeah, that's pretty much why I'm slower than him. But he opts to go for the Dragon Claw there and not the Earthquake, which is boosted by Sand Force since the sand is up and whatnot, which delays him a little bit in the process of taking me out, and actually gets off enough chip damage to the point where Mark can come in and just Brave Bird everything, like Fizzy Stardust would say. But now he's going to be going out into his Fortress as his Mega Garchomp goes down. And I'm going to be going into my Excadrill, expecting him to want to set up something so I can spin that away. But he just goes for the Gyro Ball, expecting my switch, and yeah, my Air Balloon's gone, and that's going to allow him to get out an Earthquake. Going for the Rapid Spin there was a stupid move, and I should have known that and stuff, but we all make stupid moves at points, but there I probably could have switched out in Talonflame to avoid him from setting up his rocks, but I just go into Rotom because I just want to get some chip damage off in this thing, and that was a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. I really could have tried to send an Excadrill there. And there I make another bit of a dumb play, going for the Hydro Pump. I could have predicted that switch into Roserade, but that's pretty much going to force me to switch out into Trevenant. Expecting a Sleep Powder, because Roserade now gets Spikes and Sleep Powder on the same move due to the new breathing mechanics and whatnot. And yeah, I don't really think I'd be expecting a Sludge Bomb there, but there I just go for the Rock Slide to try to get out some chip damage on this thing. So, yeah, and I think after he sets up his second layer of spikes, I'm like, oh crap, my Excadrill is donezo. I need it. So here I'm pretty much gonna try to get Excadrill in safely, But it turns out that I live with 5 as he sets up his 3rd layer of spikes. And it also turns out that he is not running max speed on this Rose Raid, and I'm faster because this extra drill is jolly. And I get to remove the rocks and spikes from the field of play. And, yeah. Fortunately, I got rid of those, but it's not going to be going to matter way too much in the long run, since he's going to be going on to Fortress to sponge the Ice Shard. I thought he would leave in his Rose Raid as Death Fodder there, but here I'm just going to get off an Earthquake there, but he still winds up getting up his rocks. And Margaret is not going to appreciate that one bit. So, my extra drill's gone. He has rocks on the field. And this battle just got a heck of a lot harder for me. So, after spamming Earthquake a few times, and not really wanting to go for these Stealth Rocks here, I could have gone for the Stealth Rocks, but I was a little bit paranoid that that Fortress may want to spin. I could have set it up on that last turn, but yeah, it didn't really work out for me. But now I'm going to be going into my Trevenant expecting a high jump kick here. And due to my ghost typing, he's obviously going to brick it. And yeah, I pretty much know that the flying type attack is going to come up here. So I'm just going to be switching on to Mamoswine. And he shows me Sky Attack. I thought I could live this, but Power Herb boosted Sky Attack. Yep, Mamoswine ain't gonna live that. So, now I'm in a little bit of trouble. And, yeah, here I'm just gonna be going on to Margaret. I have to spam Brave Bird here. Left and right. Because I cannot switch this thing any more times due to the Stealth Rocks and whatnot. And now he can just send an Arcanine and clean up from here, sadly. But here I kind of have a little bit of a plan sending in Rotom. I think he might be scared of a Hydro Pump, thinking that close combat might not kill, which it doesn't there. So I just try going for the Will-O-Wisp, expecting the Hawlucha switch in, but no, and it's pretty much GG for me here on. But he just goes for the Morning Sun, trying to be a good sport here, as I just go for the Hydro Pump. He told me he was going to go for the Morning Sun. I could have been that jerk and just went for the rest, but no, he deserves this win. And after a high jump kick, he's gonna take my Rotom out and then just clean my Trevenant out with Acrobatics, and that's going to be the 1-0 in his favor, I believe. Yeah, his Fortress went down, his Rose Raid went down, Rotom croaked to a crunch. Yeah, it was a 1-0. So, yeah, I could have played this match a little bit better, but yeah, them's the breaks. But yeah, anyways, now going into the second match, and we both pretty much brought different teams, and this was the first match in the series. But looking at teams, I'm a little bit wary about that Rotom, as it could be a little bit problematic, and it is the most versatile member of this team, and he's also pretty much scared of my Greninja, as it can deal some damage to his members. So keep Greninja alive and remove Rotom and probably Mienshao, and I should be okay. So without further ado, let's get on to this battle. So starting off, he's going to be leading off with this Mienshao, and I opted to lead with my Rotom. I am a physically defensive Rotom, so I don't really care about whatever this Mienshao wants to fling at me. And he just goes to the fake out U-turn combo. And I'm expecting some sort of switch that is not Delphox. So here I'm just going to be going for the Will-O-Wisp, and I actually wind up burning the Ferrothorn there, which is pretty nice. And that's going to help out a bit, as I am going out into my Zygarde here. Pretty much expecting him to not, 1, Power Whip, 2, use Leech Seed. And seeing as he went for the Stealth Rocks there, that gives me an open opportunity here to set up a substitute. And he's going to be clicking Leech Seed, and my substitute blocks that. So he said in the Skype chat that he was in a wee bit of trouble. Wee bit of trouble here. I'm sorry, I'm just stumbling over my words here. As my Zygarde does have a substitute up. And now I'm just going to be going for the coil as he switches into his Rotom. He said in the chat that he probably could have switched out into his Gengar here to deal with this thing a little bit better, and Rotom would not have to endure all these shenanigans. So, yeah. But here I'm just going to try to spam substitute for a little bit and trying to make him miss a Hydro Pump, as I know that Hydro Pump does not have the best accuracy. And here he actually misses one, which is unfortunate, but if he didn't want to miss, he would have used Bubble. So, here I get an open opportunity to go for Stone Edge, and that Rotom is weakened to a pretty good chunk where I can just send something and revenge it from here on out. But one Hydro Pump does not really break that sub, as I believe he did get a min damage roll. And Zygarde actually did something and pretty much took out the biggest threat to my team. But now he's going to be sending in Gengar, which turns out to be a sub-disable set, which is kind of prompting me to switch out, because outside of Stone Edge, I have nothing to hit this Gengar with at all. So that's pretty much going to prompt me to switch into Scizor here, as I do wind up predicting the disable, which fails on this turn. And here I could either Bullet Punch or Pursuit, but I decided to go for the Pursuit, expecting him to switch out, and Gengar is pretty much done. Now Garchomp comes out, and here's where I did learn that this was his Mega. But yeah, Garchomp is going to be setting up a Swords Dance here, and I'm just trying to let my Scizor die and see what he's going to lock himself into. But here I pretty much think that Zygarde is probably the most expendable here. So I just fought Zygarde off. But hey, Zygarde did some work there. But now that I know that Garchomp is his Mega, I can just freely go into my shiny Black Greninja and just fire off some Ice Beams. And yeah, thanks to Zygarde, his Rotom's gone, and Greninja can just decimate most of his team here. So here I'm just firing off Ice Beams left and right, trying to take down his Frothorn. And he just opted to sack that to bring in his Delphox, which I pretty much figured was Scarfed. So I'm just going to try to switch into my Rotom, as he does wind up double switching into his Mienshao, which I do pretty much benefit from, except for the fact that his Jump Kick is going to kill me. So yeah, that was unfortunate, but here I have a Scizor, and I'm just going to pretty much go for the U-turn here, expecting him to expecting a switch of some sort, and he opts to go out into his Delphox, and that thing is pretty much down for the count, since this is a Choice Banded Scizor. And now I'm just going out into my Mandibuzz, as he actually winds up getting the switch into Garchomp here. And here he makes a little bit of a misplay, but then again he said that Stone Edge would not have killed. He sets up a Swords Dance, which pretty much assures that Mandibuzz is going to get a nice little knockout on his Mega Garchomp. And I believe Mienshao is his last Pokemon remaining. So he just goes for the Fake Out, and then I think he winds up following with his... Oh, he just follows up with the Stone Edge. I thought he would have gone with the Step High Jump Kick, but eh. But now I'm just going to be getting off a Foul Play after I survive the Stone Edge. And yeah, it does a little bit of a decent chunk to where I can just send in whatever to revenge kill it. And that's going to be this Lucario right here, and instead of my Scizor. And what's special about this Lucario is I was actually trying to breed for a 5IV Riolu, but I actually wound up getting a 6-bagger with Bullet Punch, which was the last move there, and that will be the I believe it was a 3-0 in my favor that match, because I still had Greninja, Scizor, and Mega Lucario, which wound up ending the game with a Bullet Punch. I just wanted to show it off there. But anyways, those were some pretty good games. The Flawless Win. Rate, comment, sub, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.